Today, I'm going to discuss and you're going to learn some basic healthy living guidelines that I like to share through pretty much all of my programs. These are some of the biggest basics that you are going to want to implement as quickly as possible. And you'll be able to work on each of them as we go through the program in deeper depth. Biggest thing is when you're doing the healthy living guidelines, I want you to really focus on doing your best. And like I've mentioned before in day one, printing your accountability and tracking charts are going to be key for your success. So making sure that you print and hang your accountability healthy living guideline tracker somewhere that you can see every single day. Now, you might have chosen to do every single one of these in the 6 week challenge. You might choose one or two to focus on. Whatever you do, I just want you to make sure that you are committing to whatever you decide. So at the end of this 6 week challenge, you feel better, you feel accomplished, and you're that much closer to achieving your ultimate goal. Let's dive right in. Now, the first thing I want you to do as you're going throughout this entire program is to stay conscious of your thoughts. Negative thoughts are the biggest thing that takes us down. Negative thoughts, thinking we're not good enough, fear of failure, fear of maybe not living up to expectations. I want you just to release all that. And if you're having a day that you can't release it, reach out to the group. That is where the group support comes in. If you are having one of those days where you think you're just going a little bit crazy, as we all have, connect to the group, okay? But as you can, stay conscious of your thoughts. So let's say we have a negative thought that comes up. Now, because the theme of this program is love yourself healthy, I'm going to use that as an example. Let's say you get dressed in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror and you just are having one of those days and you're like, ugh. I'll tell you a little story. I actually went and tried a pair of jeans on at Lamley's not too long ago and came home and basically had a nervous breakdown. I didn't like how I felt. I felt puffy. I felt bloated. And my boyfriend was trying to help me. I was ready to quit everything. I was done. Like, that was it. And then I said, and then I tried a pair of jeans on at Lamley's. And he's like, oh, this is what has happened. So what I did is I got myself together and I just went, you know what? I got to love myself for where I'm at. And as soon as I said that, I was able to snap out of it. I need to love myself for where I'm at. I don't need to be perfect, but I need to just love myself for where I'm at. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do is really anytime a negative thought about yourself comes up, I want you just to stop and say, I love myself for where I'm at. All right, let's get into these guidelines. First and foremost, eat more whole food. You're going to be learning about what whole food actually means as we go through the program. But basically, we want to eat as much of the good stuff as possible. Whole food essentially means not processed. See that beautiful, colorful bag of groceries there? That's how I want your grocery cart to look almost every time you go to the store. So eat more whole food being your first and foremost most important guideline. Drink plenty of water. Actually, I probably should switch those because drinking plenty of water is the most important thing to be focusing on because water flushes toxins out of our system and it makes us feel full. So drinking plenty of water. And you will also learn as we go through the program how much water to drink for you to see the best results. Exercise most days. Now, you'll notice I say most days here because it is really important to have rest days. Now, those days can be an active rest day. You can get out and go for a walk and move, but we want to be moving our body. And again, you're going to learn more about what exercise is best for you, what sort of programs to start at, how to progress for best results. And at any time, feel free to reach out. Sleep 7 to 8 hours each night. Sleep is essential. Sleep is where our body clears the hormones, clears the toxins. Our liver has an opportunity to clear some of that stuff out. But if we don't have sleep, our body cannot clear all that stuff that happened throughout the day and have us ready and refreshed for the next day. So really focus on developing a beautiful sanctuary and getting those 7 to 8 hours sleep. And again, we're going to learn a little bit more about how to do that as we progress through the program. Take some time for stillness or meditation daily. We will be diving deep into meditation. You'll find a variety of different meditations in the resource section. If you don't see a meditation there that you think you would really love to have, let me know so I can do it up for you and add it in. But stillness and meditation is so essential. And again, you're going to learn a little bit more about why it's so essential. But I really, really encourage you to, even if it's 3 minutes, to just stop, close your eyes, breathe, and be still. This allows you to really start to connect to your body and your soul and figure out exactly what it is that you need on a daily basis. I want you to also have more love, laughter, fun, and compassion. Find your friends, find your buddies, find your support system. Laugh. Laughter is such a good medicine. So remember to have some fun through this program and beyond. And we're going to be working with each other throughout the 6 weeks as well as beyond, that you might even meet some new friends. So have some fun and laugh a little. And you know what? Share a joke or two here and there in the group. I'm sure we could all use a laugh. Now, here's some things I want you to focus on reducing or eliminating. Meat, dairy, and eggs. Yes, in this program, I'm going to give you a non-vegan option meal plan. However, let's just focus on, we're going to be focusing on drawing those back a little bit. You don't have to cut them out, but let's focus on drawing them back a little bit and adding some more veggies, especially into the plan. And you'll learn that more when we hit that nutrition section. Gluten. Gluten is one thing that seems to bother a lot of people. You might be full-blown celiac, which is where your body cannot process gluten at all, or you might just have a slight gluten intolerance. But do your best as you go forward that if you do eat gluten, I want you to focus on how you feel after you eat it. You might feel absolutely fine and it might not bother you at all, especially when you're choosing whole grain gluten options such as barley or rye. These might not bother you at all, but I want you just to pay attention and see how your body is tolerating gluten. The next one, of course, is processed foods. Processed foods don't have any place in a healthy body. Does that mean we don't have to get to eat them ever? Absolutely not. I'm really big on the 80-20 rule. Sometimes it definitely gets more than that, but we want to really be focusing on these next 6 weeks that we're focusing on 80% of the good stuff and 20% maybe of the fun stuff. So really focus on cutting those processed foods down. Refined and artificial sugars. Sugar has been shown numerous times to be so detrimental to our body. And I often say that sugar has always been my preferred drug of choice. And the reason why I use those words is to recognize that it is a drug and that it does have an addictive component, and just to be aware of that. And it doesn't mean you never get to eat it again, but just be aware of how much you're eating. But one way I actually started to reduce the amount of sugar in my diet was, how did I feel after I ate it? If I feel gross after I eat it, I need to pay attention and do my best to remember next time, do I want to feel that way or do I want to have the treat? So just do your best. Alcohol. Alcohol is a poison to your body. As much as so many people don't want to hear that, it is a poison and it is best left as a very minimal treat. You know, studies show that women can tolerate 1 to 2 drinks per day, which, I'm sorry, is extremely excessive. It's too excessive as far as I'm concerned. I stopped drinking alcohol quite a few months ago, and depending on when you're going to see this video, and I don't miss it at all. I feel better, my energy is better, my skin looks better. So maybe consider, maybe for the 6-week challenge here, taking alcohol right out and just see if you notice a difference. I'm going to be sharing with you some fun mocktail recipes anyway, so you're going to have lots of really fun stuff to drink instead. Caffeine. This is something, it depends on how much you drink. So if you love a cup of coffee in the morning, no problem. Cup of coffee, not going to hurt you at all, especially if it's in the morning, gives you a little energy, maybe even just before a workout, no problem. But if you're somebody who's drinking coffee all through the day, that's where we might want to focus on cutting back a little bit. 1 cup a day, focus on that and cut out the rest. So you want to replace caffeine with water, maybe teas, and different things like that, because caffeine is very dehydrating for the body. And remember, we want to stay hydrated and drink lots of water. Now, late night snacking and late night eating, this is a big one for a lot of people, myself included. This is probably one of my biggest challenges because I love to eat at night. So the goal is once you've had dinner, try to incorporate the mantra, dinner and done. Once you've had your dinner, that is it for the night. Now, the goal is to stop eating 2 hours before you go to bed if you can. Now, in saying that, I remember everybody is different. If you're somebody who cannot go to bed on an empty stomach, if my stomach is growling and I go to bed, I can't sleep. So there's no problem with having a little bit of a little bit of something to eat, but keep it to a non-processed food like a fruit or a veggie. That will help keep your stomach satisfied, keep you satisfied without your body having to work too hard to break down any refined sugars or refined foods through the night. So those are your healthy living guidelines. Now, what I'd like you to do is I want you to download the tracker, focus on maybe one or two things you're really going to focus on as you move through the program, because we're going to cover a lot through the program. And that can change as you go along. It might change from day to day, but really commit to one or two things that you're going to focus on the most. All right, let's get to it. We'll see you next time.